Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdicus Dave, and tonight I'm hanging out with all these wonderful nerds, which, if you're familiar with the channel, and I'm guessing you probably are, you're probably familiar with myself and Ted, as well as Nerdator Doug. But we also are joined by some of our staff writers, Robin Miller and Stephen Partridge. They also do their own things across the interwebs as well, which are linked in the description, so you can check them out. And you should check them out. But in addition to that, you can also find the Zoo Mafia newsletter. So if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in Zoo Mafia, including getting the free quick start rules that you can download and then play with your friends and go wild and do crime at home, that'll be where we're going to be launching that first. As well as there's the playlist to the design diaries over we are on the normal channel. I forgot all about that. But my mind completely blanked and went somewhere else. But anyway, there are links down there, so go check them out. With that, let's jump into it. And when we last left off, the four of you had just received special coins, which by special coins I mean anyone that's been to the zoo, you've seen those machines. You stick a penny in them and you crank the handle and it imprints a zoo animal in them, and you've each received one of them with a warthog on them, which will give you access to the sty, which is Carlo Hambino's speakeasy. So you can go there anytime you want and hang out. And you'll actually kind of get some VIP treatment if you flash those coins. And before we jump into it, if everyone would like to quick describe their characters and tell us who you're playing tonight.
Eugene Cab Webb is a Goliath bird eater tarantula. He is the lookout for the group, and he's just a big old spider.
Tommy Toolman, that's who I'll be playing. He is he's an otter and a safecracker, so he's pretty much, as his last name implies, he's the tool man. He's the one that handles the explosives and getting out of places as need be.
Are you going, Robin, or are you going?
You're going. We did that awkward thing where we're both trying to get in the door.
Right. You go ahead.
Okay. I will be playing Oliver, the Owl Gentleman Murderer.
And I am playing Eve Adams, the boa who wears a boa. She's also a grifter, so all the talky bits.
So last session, not only did you receive these special coins, but the reason you received them is because you went on a special mission outside of the zoo. You infiltrated the zoo on wheels and had your names added to the list in order to bring back an informant, a Fed informant that was at the elementary school. You succeeded in doing that. The outlook for that informant is not very good. That was Abe the Worm Reels, who was handed over to Happy the Hippo, who handed you the coins. So, what do you guys want to do next? What is your plans? I know you guys have some things in the works.
So I imagine first we probably got vetted for all of our harm, because we took a lot of harm last time when we faced down those school pets. Like, who knew school pets were savage like that? Like, for real. And there was Bugsy the seagull. It was like wild.
See, Tommy, and he was on point for mission. So I actually got to skate away with only a little bit of harm, but you guys did, get hit pretty hit.
The Schoolhouse Mafia is no joke. They do not play around.
Yeah, I remember the worm was in the apple.
Right, you would have thought they would have more class.
If you think about it, they're constantly dealing with children, and children are a bunch of ruffians. So, they were living the hard knocks life already.
That's valid.
So, I guess we have to, kind of plan out, did we already turn over Abe, or do we still have him?
No, you turned over Abe. Happy came around when you guys returned to the zoo, and basically you guys handed over the apple complete with Abe, and received the tokens in return. also, happy informed you that you've gained the attention of Carlos Hambino, and he's very impressed with what you guys have been able to do so far. There might be room in the organization for you guys in the future.
We're moving our way up.
So we still gotta, show some clout and get some more done. But we can go check out the sty. But we also got to put our heads together and figure out, what's going on with this monorail job before too much time gets on us, because we don't want to get there and not be able to do what we need to do.
Yeah, so you got about a half a week, right? You've got 3.5 days before the scheduled rendezvous with the monorail in order to pull that job. After you guys have taken a day or two to rest up with the vet and getting taken care of.
I say we go party it up.
Well, we could definitely see what the sty is like. I'm very curious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if this is where we're looking to go, I think this is a good time. We got some days to plot and plan, and make sure that we're pretty solid on who we might be working with in the future.
I wonder though. Do we need to worry about avoiding the mooks, as it were?
Capone's.
Yes.
All that monkey business.
Right.
Probably not at the sty.
But I mean on the way there, because if they see us going in there, might tip our hand.
I hope it does. I'd love them to think we're aligned with Carlo.
Fair.
That would mean
Strategic audacity.
That would mean that those burn braid monkeys might not be so itching to pick a fight if they know that we got some extra weight behind us.
Maybe we should make it more obvious that we're going there.
Well, we wouldn't be too heavy-handed about it, because then that might work against us. What if Carlo doesn't want us bringing our troubles to him without being able to properly prove that we can provide?
That's a good point.
We also don't want to look like we're trying to make too much of a show of it. It's just lame. Nobody wants to be that guy.
Where is the sty in the zoo, Dave?
That's where I was going to let you know. So the Oasis Grill is Area 7 on the map for you guys.
Okay.
And it is, like most of the establishments in the zoo, the animals have their secret areas, basically, hidden away beneath the human areas. They've carved out little niches to have their own establishments beneath the human establishments. It is slightly above and to the right of the playground, by the pygmy hippo and mongoose lemur. So I believe that is
okay. I see.
Yeah,
that is just northeast of the family amphitheater.
Got it. Right over by the pedal boats.
Yeah. Yes, it's not. It is not very far from the pedal boats.
Yeah. Oh, there's some rough customers in that region.
And also,
rhinos.
it is also directly across the playground from the Warthog.
Oh yeah.
So for your point of reference,
Yeah.
Oh, do we go looking for Carlo Hambino, or do we want to take a look and participate, or what do we want to do? How do we want to approach this?
Well, he invited us. I figure we just go and see what happens. We probably could, I doubt we would be able to meet with them on our own,
Yeah, I think
think
I think Cobb's got it right. We go in and just schmooze around. Don't try to make ourselves look like anything. And if Carlo then notices and invites us to come say hi, we come say hi. We be, polite as you please. But
We're bad enough that we don't have to peacock.
All right.
So, are you taking any particular approach to getting over there? I've heard a couple of different approaches. One is casual, one is look at us, we're going to hang out here, and the other was, are we trying to avoid the monkey mooks?
I'm in favor of casual.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about things.
So we're not stealing a go-kart to go over there.
Good.
I really, OOC Lee, I really love that idea. And if I were playing any other character, I would throw in with that, but however wouldn't. So
I will say and let you guys know, at this point, the monkey mooks are out to get you, but unless they feel like they have an advantage, they're probably steering clear, because you guys are starting to get a little bit of a reputation around the zoo.
Yeah.
You guys have been keeping that. You've been keeping the Cayman quite fed recently. So with that, you head on over there. You do actually see some monkey mooks on the way, and they kind of pretend not to see you and move in the other direction because there was only 3 of them, and they definitely did not want a part of your crew. Standing outside of the sty is Miss Olga Orange. It's an orangutan wearing a monkey suit as the door woman, and there's kind of like a velvet rope thing going on with a line of people waiting to get in, mostly young zoo animals, and they're most of them are not quote unquote maid or criminals per se. Yeah. They're just here to cut loose and have a good time. When you guys walk up, you're able to flash your coins, and she'll actually open the rope and let you go past everyone.
Much obliged.
Thank you, Olga, darling.
And definitely no cover charge. So as you go through the as the doors open for you, which she holds them open for you, of course, being the gentlewoman she is, and the consummate professional, you're met by a riot of sound and light. As there's people reveling inside, dancing is going on, singing is going
more
on.
Than the rabbit hutch.
There, yeah, for sure. There's a huge full-size grand piano. It's actually one of those double ones, right? So you can have 2 pianos playing at the same time. There's only one going right now, with a kangaroo at the keys. Fancy Fingers Roo, dressed in a tuxedo, banging away on those keys, and there is Josephine Barker. Is a Timberwolf with black fur, with a beaded sea green dress draped in pearls, one of those cool hats and half see-through veils that's kind of mesh, and she's up there howling away, singing. The bartender seems quite busy. Long-faced McNally is an Irish sport horse with gray fur. He's dressed in a fancy shirt, dress pants, vest, and a bow tie. And he's basically a blur. Off to one corner, kind of like away from everything, is a booth that is heavily guarded by a bunch of tuxedo heavies. And Happy is over there, tips his head to you guys when you come in, along with some other burly types, and they're all dressed immaculately. Every once in a while, you think you see the flash of a cigarette cherry that kind of lights up a tusk through the mass of bodies. But no one's getting particularly close to that area in here. If you try hard enough, you can kind of find an empty table, and also you guys kind of have a presence about you. So as you enter people tend to clear out a little bit, and you find yourself with maybe a little bit more room than others.
Oh, I enjoy that.
Let's get some drinks. When in
Now, is that, there's Tommy is certainly not used to that kind of situation. Does this seem like a sign of respect, or is this more of a setup?
I would say respect, borderline fear.
Wow. Okay.
You guys were already kind of professionals before you got started. Working together, and since you guys have been working together, you've done quite a bit. And I would just imagine that's going to make you guys kind of give off kind of like a hardened vibe.
Cool.
Can I put my peepers to work to see if anybody seems to be like, you said, we're kind of getting some deference, but like undue attention, like, maybe like staring at us and then like whispering, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. Put all 8 peepers to work. All right. Okay, so I get my total is not good, 4, and I got doubles, which are on the ones on the ally and the neutral.
Okay,
so I failed in doubles on ally and neutral.
All right, yeah. So the which die doesn't matter unless there's a face 6 showing.
Oh, got it.
The 4 matters because you fail.
Yeah, sure.
Which is going to give you an XP.
All right.
And the next thing you try and do, you're going to be at a penalty of -1 for. You're going to have -1 forward. But
gotcha.
So yeah, you're looking around, and there is just so much to take in. So instead of effectively taking it all in at once, you're kind of overwhelmed a little bit. And not able to focus on anything in particular. And it also makes you a little jumpy as far as like, are they watching us? Are they watching us? Kind of.
All right. So yeah, he's sort of just just uncaring, just like, yeah, this is great.
Is there anyone in the room that's like known?
The only people that would be known in the room they would be back in that corner. Where Carlos is Carlo is hanging out. Obviously, Carlo is known. You guys are familiar with his lieutenant Happy, and then the rest of them are basically just his hired thugs that act as his personal bodyguard.
Is there like cocktail servers?
There are.
I'm on a flag one down.
Yeah, so a young woman, Gazelle comes over. And takes your order. What can I do for you, sir?
This place is fantastic, sweetheart. I'm gonna have a Moscow Mule, if you don't mind.
Oh,
and whatever my friends want.
One Moscow person coming up.
Snake bite? Anybody? Salty dog?
Oh yes.
Pink squirrel?
They completely replace all the names that have an animal in it with some kind of person.
Oh, okay.
Whiskey on the rocks, sugar.
I'm gonna make up something. Instead of a Manhattan, it's gonna be a big city.
A human Manhattan.
Man in a hat.
Eve will sort of make eye contact with Oliver, and she'll say, I mean, we need to have some fun. And darling, I'm no peacock, I'm better. And she's going to slither up to the stage and try to use her "you know who I am" feature to be able to get into the performance gig with Josephine.
Okay. Give me a magnetism roll.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, use your feature. I think it's magnetism though, right?
Yeah, it's magnetism. So I have a +2. I have doubles, but I think it's a failure. I have no bosses, but it is a 4 + 2, 6.
All right, 6 is a failure. Yeah, the same thing. like she actually is able to maneuver in a way that without breaking her performance, that completely keeps you off the stage and from getting into the act, and makes it look effortlessly so that the crowd doesn't even really notice, but you notice for sure. It's like she's like singing and doing like the dance strut thing at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think. This is reminding me of a cartoon I've seen, but I can't remember it now. Just trying to sidle in whenever she can. It's almost like a Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny situation.
So,
a brilliant effort.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for at all for your drinks to show up back at the table where you guys were hanging out. If Eve does not make her way back to the table, the server will actually kind of try and round you up and corral you back to the table with the drinks and to your friends.
That's fair.
Dave, what do I need to roll? Sorry. What do I need to roll to make it look like I am drinking this drink and not actually be drinking this drink?
You just say you're doing that. I don't need a roll for that.
Okay.
There's a lot going on. It doesn't appear that anyone in particular is super, paying attention to what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Oliver's trying to stay steady, but wants to make it look like he's casual and partying.
Yeah.
I'm doing the opposite.
Tommy is certainly on edge, and he needs the drink to kind of keep it under control.
Settle his frazzled nerves.
Loosen up, you guys. This is what we've been working towards. We made it. This is the big time.
We didn't make it yet. We're getting.
See those monkeys turn the other way on the way here? We're on our way.
I'm not certain I noticed that.
It is at that point that the door actually gets kicked in, and two burly figures. How
long have we been here at this point?
How long were you guys planning to come and hang out, and did you have plans to do things?
My cob's plan was to party down, so if it's any appreciable time, I've just kept the Moscow mules coming.
Okay. I'm going to say you guys were probably 30 minutes in.
Oh, so it's probably 2. I just chugged the first one.
Yeah, it probably, the place is hopping. It was probably took time to get your next one anyway.
Okay, good.
So yeah, you're 30, 30 minutes in after you kind of settled down, got a drink in. The second one just showed up. It's when you hear a huge bang from the front that's actually louder than the music and the people as the door comes flying in, and you see a kind of a familiar figure, two familiar figures really, a large alligator and rhino, dressed in laborer's attire, brown pants and turtleneck suspenders and beanie caps. And they're kind of they are highlighted or lit up by the muzzle flash of their Tommy guns, as they are just standing kind of shoulder to shoulder, just inside the doorway, and they are just trying to mow down everything. And all the heavies kind of close ranks in front of Carlo. And there is screams and blood everywhere.
I see these little shits didn't come out to have a good time.
What do you guys want to do?
The last time we tried to tussle with folks, it was a scenario of my gun don't do crap against them. All I got is dynamite.
Yeah. Oh, so one of the things I meant to mention before we started, apologies, guys, folks watching, this is a live playtest, so we've been making adjustments on the fly as we go. One of the adjustments we made early on is when you guys get a penalty, a -1 forward in combat, I can use it to turn it into damage against you immediately. You guys can also do the same now. If you get a +1 forward, you can now increase your damage by 1.
Awesome.
I like that. I dig that.
Let's see. So what would I do as immediate reaction? Probably spill my drink and try to scramble behind my seat and stand in the gaps.
Okay. So you're kind of trying to hide to get out
Yeah.
of the line of fire. Okay.
Yeah, I was having a good time. This is a buzzkill, man.
I'm going to grab Eve and take up to the rafters.
Okay. So give me a stand in the gaps with the
right.
-1, Doug, because you had the
Yep.
-1 forward.
You've got it. Let's see.
What's the
6.
You say 6?
Yeah.
All right, not good.
No.
I'll get to you in a moment, Ted.
Sure.
Robin?
Oh, I take it back.
Yeah.
I got another minus.
Get out of the jam
All right.
to act quickly.
Okay. That's not. Is it Sly?
Get out of the jam is Moxie.
Okay, I need to make myself a cheat sheet. All right, that is going to be 9 total.
Okay, so you do it with some consequence.
Okay.
Here's what I'll offer up. You can do it cleanly if you drop Eve, and you can cleanly get out of the way.
Now we got a thing going.
You
Okay.
can drop me. You can drop me.
Yeah, I know I can, but Oliver wouldn't.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair.
And Tommy, what are you doing?
All right. So what is the alligator's name?
The alligator's name that you had encountered before is Ollie. But this is not. But Ollie, you killed.
Oh, I thought we just drove him off.
Are these the ones that almost that we fought like up by the otters?
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
it makes this, okay.
I believe
Ollie,
you drove
I have
off Renee and off Ollie.
Yeah.
Because you
I
put
actually have
dynamite
a
in his
note that
mouth.
I have
Wow,
enmity
okay.
with Ollie.
So then I would ask the question: do I know who this gator is? Like, obviously, if he's running with the same guy.
Do you you know what? Yes, I will say you do. This is Alligator. That is Ollie's sister.
All right, so
Alligator.
I'm gonna do something stupid,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna pull out the dynamite, and I'm gonna try and intimidate. You know, what's the move? Start spitting,
Okay.
and I want to try and see if I can get the gator to not, keep at doing what they're doing.
Okay. So give me the roll.
Blow this pop stand.
All right, so that's a 6, but I want to use a marker and turn it into a success.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So now let's resolve things. Okay. Eve, Oliver, and Cobb. You guys all take 1 harm for Eve and Oliver. You're now up in the rafters, kind of above the fray, but you took some fire on your way out. Cobb, you actually went to step in between the gaps and hide, and like
Step
where
right in the
you
line
were
of fire.
right in the line of fire, and the cover you're going for, they actually like walk the Tommy guns through, so it doesn't even exist anymore. And you took one.
Got it.
Okay, so Tommy is turning in a marker. Turn your failure into success, so that you intimidate the two of them. So with that, they're going to look at you, look at each other, and Allie nods. Big Renee reaches in, grabs the door, slams it shut. And then then it is like deathly silent in here. In the absence, and you just hear some soft like moans and cries from the injured and the wounded, and then you hear fist slam on a table, and then like the heavies in the corner, some of which are bleeding at this point, one of which is down. Happy seems okay. Kind of go flying forward in like this stumble step as as Carlos stands up and he's basically flips the table and starts letting loose a stream of explicits, curses. There's spittle is flying, and he's like, and he says 100 peanuts for each of their heads. I want them on that wall, and points.
And I will flutter down with Eve, and I'm gonna be like, you can consider that as good as done.
So should we give chase?
Are they in here or they left? They shut the door and left. Oh, okay. I thought you meant they closed themselves.
Yeah, they slammed the door shut and then left, yes.
At the very least, we need to figure out where they're going, yes.
Then golf cart?
Whatever it takes.
So you guys,
count on us, Mr. Hambino.
Excuse me, Doug?
I said you can count on us, Mr. Hambino. We got this.
We'll see. As you guys rush to the door, it's jammed.
Oh.
Is there another way out?
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah. Or there's another way out. You can try and unjam it.
I will see if I can unjam it.
I step aside.
All right, do your thing.
Can I see a soft spot to help him out?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Not looking too good yet, but there we go. Let's see. 8. So it gets a forward.
Okay.
It looks like it's pretty weak right there. Blow it.
Oh, I needed it. It's a rolled double 3s. Or doubles, no faces. That with your 4, that turns it into a 10.
All right.
All right. So you got a success. So you're able to, what you end up actually having to do is you break off the door handle inside and then use your chisel to pop it, because apparently what they did was when they shut the door, they broke it, just broke off the handle on the outside. That's why you couldn't open it.
Nice. They don't call you the tool man for nothing.
And basically you see heading, let's see, heading towards where the chimpanzee is on the map and the hippo,
Okay. Down that
another
path.
golf cart dashing away.
Is there any other golf carts in the area?
No, there is not. You'd probably have to go to the security station and boost one.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and aerial after them. I'm an owl. I can fly pretty quietly. I'll land in trees if I think that I'm being spotted.
Well, it's night. I mean, as always, all the animal life life around here happens at night for the most part when the humans aren't around. You're an owl, so you have excellent vision in the dark, and you're able to see them. You have very good eyesight. And you can see that they're taking a kind of a roundabout way to get there, but they seem to be heading over towards the Amazon station.
So Robin, was that pun intended?
What?
I didn't notice I'd made one.
The owl, in case you were spotted.
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. No, I didn't do that on purpose, but I will gladly accept it.
And you see they end up going over to the Amazon Flow, which is one of the art exhibits.
Okay.
In that area.
Art, huh?
I'll come back and let them know.
So while he is off flying, I'll pull Eve and Cobb aside. A couple of ways to do this. We can do this the difficult and dirty way. Try to stake out where these big toughs are and get in their lair and deal with it. Or we send a message and we put their names and we take down every single mook we see permanently until they present themselves.
We could also send a message, much like we did the pet shop outside of the zoo, and blow up their holdings and hit them where it hurts in their pocketbooks.
Scorched earth?
It might also elicit enough of a chaotic response that we could then do as you suggest and pick them off one at a time.
I'm
I
all
got to expect some kind of reprisal, so this might be a trap too.
indeed. Well, we know where they went. So we could certainly put some hurt in there. We know that they work for Miss Capone. We could certainly put a hurting on whatever she's got going on.
Big man's paying for their heads. We could smoke them out. 100 peanuts is nothing to sneeze at, unless you're allergic.
So what do we do then?
No, we got a couple plans. What are we thinking?
We're pretty sly. We got explosives. I like Tommy's original idea.
We could do that.
Let me know when I get back.
You're back.
Oh, okay. Well, in that
Sorry.
case, I would have spoken up a long time ago. But my thoughts are as follows: if we leave a huge river of blood, the zookeepers are gonna notice.
True.
Yeah.
And the last thing we want is bringing down that kind of heat on ourselves. So if we're gonna do that, we better have a plan dependent on somebody else.
I like that. What about Machine Gun Otto? He's pretty nuts.
But that's still dangerous because we don't want to necessarily invoke his ire
Nah.
because, like you said, he's pretty nuts.
You will often find me in favor of surgical precision, but I'm a little steamed at the moment. So if what you guys want to do is mass murder,
I don't know about mass, but those two guys who just broke up the club, is that considered mass? I think it has to be 3 or more for that.
well, we don't know how many of them died.
I mean, I've never been religious.
So looking at the options, what if we go another way? Do what Cobb says and hit them where it hurts, and we take what's theirs in a way of drawing them out.
Now you're talking. Get a little cheddar for ourselves to boot.
I like this idea.
And that way we can choose our battleground, lay the proper traps.
Mhm.
So I'm all about that kind of choosing the battlefield and thinking on my feet, but not having to do it dirty right in the moment. We've got the time to plot and the plan. And we can do something that even animals of that size we can bring down.
Do we have any idea where Machine Gun Otto's territory is?
Oh yeah, like all the territories are clearly kind of like staked out.
Sure.
So it's not a secret per se.
If we could get him to pursue us into his territory, that might not look too good for Al Capone either. Maybe Otto will take care of a problem for us and nobody will even know we were involved. Or Carlo. I'm sure he would like that.
I don't think Carlo is Mr. Hambino is gonna like trying to cross the boundaries.
What do you mean? If they pursue us, we disappear, they find themselves somewhere that is not too healthy for them. Who knows what'll happen?
Right.
Not even has to know the big boars involved.
But what if Otto doesn't really care who's causing problems in his territory? He just has his men shoot up anybody and everybody that's not his.
Yeah, that's why we don't get seen. And just make sure they are. We're pretty sly.
You know, something really stupid. I was imagining Hambino as a hamster until you said that just now. Whatever reason, my brain just did not make the connection that he was actually a warthog.
Yeah, you've seen the art.
I have. I don't know. I don't know why a zoo would even have a hamster.
He's a really ugly hamster.
And speaking of the art, let us know in the the live chat comments or the comments down below if you want us to turn those pieces of art into something else like shirts or whatnot. Let us know.
But yes.
All right. Well, I can certainly get with the disappearing act and whatnot.
We know we're going to have to use explosives for this to stick.
Sure.
So wherever it is we're planning on doing this, it should be somewhere that a big kaboom isn't going to draw a whole lot of attention, or if it does, we can get out quickly.
Well, I'm here to let you know the big kabooms always draw attention.
Okay, where do we want to draw attention? That doesn't have to be a negative thing. We could use it as an opportunity.
So we know that Machine Gun Otto is crazy.
Yeah.
But beyond, this is a question for Dave. Beyond being crazy, what else do we know? Like, is he super territorial, or is it everything is absolutely unpredictable with him?
So they're all territorial in the sense of like what crimes are being committed, in their territory, right? Like just strolling through isn't necessarily enough to cause a problem, but if you start moving in on their turf or be perceived to move in on their turf, then then that's very much different than you're shopping in their neighborhood.
So I'm gonna float this idea out there, and let me know what the thoughts are. Use all the plans together. We get in, we take something to try and draw out these two heavies.
I like that.
We have an area layered with some traps that would lead them in the direction of Otto's territory. We plan a hide. We plan. All of my dynamite is like totally light it and throw it, not like a push button thing, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, if you're like, hey, I want to rig up one of these jammies to plungers, you could do that.
Well, then, so we lead them to a trap area where we've got two sticks of dynamite hiding.
Yeah,
and it's in Otto's territory. They take some damage, and if we're lucky, Otto comes out, and there's a fight. Worst case scenario, bad guys fight bad guys. It's all good for Hambino. If we're successful, our targets get killed, and all the better, and we're not seen.
Weaving quite a little web there, Tommy. I like it.
Well, I mean, you got to work with the ideas, and I'm pretty good at getting out of jam, and sometimes that means planning the way out.
So, suppose for a moment, in order to get in, we had a person on the inside.
Do you?
No, but I was thinking I might be said person.
Seems kind of dangerous.
But I could make it so that all of you could get in and perhaps scout out a bit to find the most valuable thing.
And if something goes wrong, how do we get you back out?
I mean, we always find a way, don't we?
Oh, I don't like that, but I also know how capable you are.
I mean, we are
You've
very
got a pretty,
out of jams.
pretty. You've got a forked tongue, Eve. I've seen you talk your way out of some tough jams already.
It's saying a lot as a confidence snake.
Indeed. I have quite a bit of confidence, and if not always successfully so. My singing voice would have been delightful, by the way. She doesn't know what that lounge missed out on. But anyway,
He doesn't.
you know there.
Hey, we'll save it for another night. You might be headlining there before too long. If we're gonna make it to the big time, we got to take the big risks. If you're willing to do that,
And if perhaps we can actually play this right, we might even have an in with Al Capone that we could exploit. I mean, these are the games I play.
So
leverage never hurts. Good point.
that's high stakes. You got to be careful, though.
High risk, high reward, right?
You said it.
So, I think Eve would like to approach this hideout somewhat directly.
Uh-huh.
And I would like, if it's guarded, I want to just go up to the guards.
How close are we to, as all this is going down? Are we like following or along behind you or something, or like basically, could I shadow Eve just to sort of like be like between Tommy, Oliver, and just sort of like be that go between, just kind of slip between the shadows, just to make Is that okay?
What is it that
Or
guy
if
says?
you're okay with that, Steve?
What is it that guy says? You can certainly try.
Yeah.
That guy.
Somebody in there. If that's okay with you, Steve, I didn't want to step on your page. So you're not totally alone. Just like, sort of like if something goes bad, I could use my signal flags to let them know or something like that. Love those signals. Hey, you put it on the equipment, man.
Yeah. Nope. That's why it's there.
But is that okay, Steven? I didn't want to
Yeah.
step on you. Oh, okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So lay it out for me. How are you guys proceeding? You're going to kind of sneak. You're going to approach. See if there's guards. You want to approach them and then sneak in. Where's everybody else going to be located?
I'm imagining just like ding 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 ding, like between sneaking between like bushes and stuff, just like a little distance from me, but just so I could still see her and also the crew, just to kind of like be that go between.
I don't fully know whether you guys are planning to charge in the night. Like we need time to set up the ambush, the trap, all of that kind of stuff. That's not just whoop, it's done.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Eve is planning to try and get in tonight, get information while we're doing setup stuff, and then try to do it tomorrow where we do the heist. And
we got to strike while the iron's hot.
That was kind of the plan that I was thinking.
Sure. All right. So like if Eve and Cobb are going off that direction, perhaps Oliver and I can be kind of staking out a good location, getting things set up, and making sure we're not observed to be able to set things up for the boom.
Okay, so the area that Oliver pointed out to you, at first you don't really notice anything in particular. You have to kind of like really look around for a bit, and then you see it. Then you see the entrance. It's hidden, and that actually kind of makes you think of your own hideout. It's kind of tucked away. So there isn't any guards. It's hidden. That's the way. But since Oliver followed them back and saw them go in,
it would be very secret if there was guards standing outside.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying? Yeah.
So you don't observe anyone, but so basically what it is like a staged area where there's an outside exhibit for people to do art, and basically kids or people will follow along with the artist that's doing the thing, and so it's set up like a stage, but beneath the stage is where the hideout is.
Okay.
So going around the stage, there's some lattice work and some screened areas. And then, where some of the bushes are, you can see that it's actually been dug out, and like there's a there's where they went in. You don't see an entrance per se, but you know it's got to be there because Oliver told you.
Right.
Okay. I will go up to the dugout area
Yeah.
and just kind of, poke around.
Yeah, so after a little bit, you're able to determine there is a secret door there that's hidden. It's concealed in with the rest of it. You can you find the seam by the heat differential. Like basically, it forms a line, around the edge that you can see with your snaky senses.
Okay. So I would like to try to open the hidden door.
Okay, so I would say that's going to be a sly if you're trying to open it quietly and kind of like, my guess is you just want to nudge it a little bit to see if you can see what's going on before you just burst in.
Yep.
All right.
So I have doubles and I'm showing the ally boss.
Okay, that's good.
A total of 10 plus whatever stat you want me to use. Which one am I using?
Sly.
So 11 total. But I had a negative forward, so that's just back to 10.
Okay. So everybody else is going to get a forward that they can use later. And you get a 10, which is a success. So you nudge it open just a bit. Oh, wait a minute. You got an ally, right?
Yep.
You get a marker.
Cool. I've been using those for narrative things.
Yeah. So you don't get the +1s, but you get a marker.
Cool.
And you nudge it open, and you can see Alligator and Big Renee is kind of like, it's like almost like a living room type scenario. It's like set up like kind of like basically like a big apartment. And they seem to be drinking. They're drinking and smoking and kind of celebrating. And you hear them bragging about, pulling one over on Hambino. And the pig is finally going to go down. It's time for some ham steaks. Also, you notice there is lots of art in stashed away in there as well.
Okay. So I'm trying to look out for valuable things as I want to sneak up to exactly where they are.
Okay. All right. So you with your roll, you did really well. So you slink in. They're like sitting on sofas, just kind of like pounding beers. And let's see. They actually do have some fine art. I want to say because of your playbook, you're being a confidence person, a grifter. You don't know if they're originals or if they're just if they're knockoffs or they're just good replicas. But there's definitely that famous portrait of humans playing cards. There's a baboon like this screaming. There's a couple of giraffe farmers standing there with the pitchfork in front of their farmhouse.
Oh yes,
and there's definitely a Mona lizard.
Oh, of course.
Awesome.
And then they seem to have plenty of booze stashed away in here. Some guns and ammunition. These type definitely love their bashy bludgeoning weapons. So, you've got some of that stuff laying around. And there's probably more in there as well. Like you're kind of looking around, trying to stay unnoticed at this time.
Okay. I would like to. Are there guns within reach?
In reach of, they could grab them if they wanted to. But yeah, they're laying on the table in front of them.
Okay, so I will slither up sort of in between them and just be like, exciting night. You really should lock your doors better.
Are you trying, because Renee's seen you before? Like,
Oh
you're
yeah,
not-
that's totally fine. Because
Okay.
I'm trying to talk to them right now, and I want to make it kind of apparent that like, if I wanted to do a thing, I would have done a thing because I've been in here. Because
Okay.
I'm like right there in the middle of them.
Let's determine how they interact with you, how they respond to you, based on your spitting roll. So you
Okay.
start spitting.
Okay. I'm theoretically good at this. That's my word. Okay. 11 plus 2, 13.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Nice.
I got a 5 and a 6.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you startle them. They're like, whoa, where did you come from? Hey, what are you doing here? And so Big Renee's like, that's one of the ones from that was working with the Groundhog Underground. And Allie's like, one of the ones that helped take out my brother. And so you got them in the moment. They're startled, but they are getting kind of agitated and angry.
Okay, I would like to kind of like coil around their guns so they can't quite grab them.
All right, give me get out of a jam
Okay, I have +1 here.
to act
You got it.
quickly.
Okay, that is a 9 altogether.
Okay,
6 plus 2 plus 1, 9.
so couple things. One, you know that that Big Renee, especially from experience, is very dangerous even without a gun.
Uh-huh.
And you can only assume Allie is kind of the same stock as Ollie.
Okay.
So you do grab both of the guns.
Okay.
You have them. But that being said, Allie is the one that seemed the most agitated.
Okay.
And she slams down her fist on the table, on top of you, not even going for the gun, where Renee is caught off guard because she reaches for the guns instead. But Allie just seems to be seeing red. So you're going to take 2
Okay.
as you get punched by a very large alligator fist.
Okay. And Eve will be like, is that any way to greet a new friend?
You were there when things went bad with Ollie. Also, so Cobb, you would hear the commotion going on inside. I would hardly call you a friend, and you're working with the pig.
Well, here's the thing, darling. My loyalty lies with coin, peanuts, if you will. And I was doing a freelance job. He attacked us. What was I supposed to do? I ran and hid, if you remember. So, don't get it twisted. I'm a snake. I'm very good at getting things untwisted. I just want to be paid. And after that display that you did at the sty, where I was having a good time trying to show off my talent, the cretins that don't recognize it got what they deserved. But the fact is, you could use someone like me, someone who has friends on both sides. As long as you're paying me better, you know where my allegiance lies. If you want, I'll just leave. That's fine. I can just leave now. And you'll miss out on this friendship. Or you can apologize and we can discuss payment and how you want to further your boss's ambitions.
So they kind of like stand around on you. You're talking about payment. You want to know who didn't get paid? And it's the rhino talking, Big Renee. I didn't get paid when you guys made off with the peanut rum, and I wasn't able to recover it. Not only did I not get paid, you also made me look really bad in front of the boss. She was very angry. Have you ever seen Al Capone when she's angry? You definitely wouldn't like her when she's angry.
I haven't, I confess. And it was nothing personal, darling, nothing at all. But you could consider it a sort of audition because now you know I'm good at what I do.
So how is working with you going to get us paid, and how is it going to make up for what I lost? And also, there's the whole thing with Ollie.
Well, I can't make up for Ollie, but also I wasn't really involved with that bit, if you want to be technical. But as far as getting even, just imagine if you had a friend on the inside of the other side, who knows what you could accomplish, what sort of big heist you could pull off, or what sort of information you might gather, because information is knowledge and knowledge is power.
You're making their heads hurt with all of the talking.
You know, I'm sorry.
They look a little confused, and they're actually scratching their head because you're like talking circles around them. How do we get paid? I want to get paid now.
Well, here's the thing. I'm clearly talking a little bit above your pay grade. I'm so sorry. If you'd want, I could talk to Al Capone herself. She probably would get it. I've heard she's very cunning. But long and short of it, if you want to get paid now, well, I can't pay you now as such, but think of what I do as an investment, really. Sort of long-term deal. You could get 10 peanuts now and be done with it, or you could get 10,000 later.
How much? That's a lot of peanuts. How are you going to get us 10,000 peanuts?
With a little secret that I've got.
They look at each other confused. How did you find our hideout?
I love art, darling, and frankly speaking, your little dugout over there is not very discreet.
Did you want to say something, Doug?
Yeah, I didn't want to. Just like, I guess out of here. What was your plan, Stephen? Because you'd mentioned, like, I can hear this, and I was like, I don't want to interrupt and do something that would ruin that. So I'm assuming I would have known what your goal was.
So I was trying to get in here and get them to think that I'm on their side.
Yeah.
And then basically get them to like be invested in me, but then I'll be able to distract them and get you guys in later. And I've already scouted what's valuable in here.
But were we going to lure them somewhere? Isn't that what?
Yes, that was the point.
Now or later?
Later.
So what are Tommy and Oliver doing now?
They're scouting the location of.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I totally misunderstood. I'm glad I asked because I was like, I was gonna like, oh, should I spend a marker? But never mind. So I'm just observing. Okay, sorry.
But you see where I'm coming from, right?
No, you said something about a lot of peanuts. How do we get paid a lot of peanuts? That's what I want to know.
I'll be able to show you tomorrow, but it needs to be very discreet because, well, we don't want this getting out to any of your brutish friends on the other sides, would we?
Well, we don't have a lot of friends.
I'll send you a message tomorrow towards the evening of where to be and where you can find.
What's the job?
Well, if I told you that, you're not very likely to let me walk out of here alive, are you? I need some sort of collateral.
But we need to know what we're doing. Like, we need to rough someone up? Are we going to mug someone? We're going to rob someone? We got to break in somewhere? Like, what do we need?
Oh, that's the beauty. You don't even need your guns. You just need some raw physical brute strength to open something. But that's all you need to know for now. But I'm confident you two with your burly selves could definitely handle it.
All right, give me a start spin to see if they bought all this.
Okay. Okay, that is 10 exactly. I got a 5 and 3, and I got doubles on the 3, but there's no bosses.
All right, so success with doubles. All right, so they are definitely buying it. You get a +1 on your +1 forward on your next roll, and so we wouldn't have to share this with anybody, would we?
I mean, I would like you to share with me because I'm your friend now.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be in on the job and you're going to bring us the job, sure. But the bosses don't need to know about this job, do they? And then Allie starts rubbing her short, stubby arms together. Very muscular, stubby arms, though, in excitement.
Here's the thing, darling. Once again, my loyalty is bought. So if your loyalty is bought by your boss, that's between you and your boss. I am offering a partnership.
Well, there's that, but one time I did see Al Capone totally gut someone that double-crossed her and literally ate their entrails out while they were alive. While everyone watched.
I mean, that sounds a little bit gruesome, but I guess my kink is not your kink.
Yeah, she can definitely be a little extra at times.
Either way, no, I'm not going to tell anyone except you two. So I'll send you the message. That's why I'm being discreet. You can tell whoever you want or don't want. If you want to tell your boss, go ahead. She'll probably want a cut. If you don't tell your boss, go ahead. You're risking that on your own.
All right, well, we'll sit tight and wait for your message.
All right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go, but I am quite famished. You don't have, like, cookies or something, do you? They took me to school the other day and we didn't even get any.
The alligator reaches down and pulls out like a big mason jar. And it's got like a bunch of it's full of like a pickle or brine. With a bunch of rodents in it.
I mean, I do enjoy a good pickle now and again, but I'm more craving something sweet. Thank you, darling. That was very sweet of you, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. Anyway, ta.
You're lost.
She'll head out then. Try to make sure that Cobb can get out unseen.
Yeah, I figured I was like outside listening. I didn't go in.
Yeah,
Right, yeah. Like maybe there's like a window or something just looking.
So you guys meet back up with we'll meet back with Oliver and Tommy. And what is Oliver and Tommy? What are you guys doing?
Scouting out the perfect location, trying to find where we could essentially lure them into a trap that we would have the ability to kind of covertly set up an explosion of dynamite in Otto's territory, but not so far in that, you know, we're gonna get caught doing the setup.
Smart.
So if you're looking at the map and the kind of like the southeast section of it, where it says Asia, like that kind of like there where the tracks are kind of forms like a circle, and that is Al Capone's territory there, and then kind of where it says Australia and the administrative buildings and stuff like that, up to both of which go up to the kind of like where the playground is, and that is Otto's territory, and then from the kind of like the Warthog up is where you find Carlo Hambino's territory.
Oh man! So Eve's hideout is like right in Otto's territory, sort of.
Yeah. It's kind of like in between. It's very close to the border of all three.
Okay, it's starting to make so like the middle's sort of like neutral ground, and then they sort of around the periphery. That makes sense.
If
Very
I'm
cool.
looking in the right spot, let's see.
Yeah. But what you said made sense to me.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
So where does Oliver and Tommy think the perfect location's going to be?
That means we can hide.
Got thoughts, Tommy?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm thinking somewhere underground might be for the better.
Ooh.
Well, I figured if we put it, so if we can go at a spot that's like right on the borderline between Al Capone, since it's her people, and Machine Gun Otto, that can only further the rivalry between those two.
Yeah.
The ability to take down, these guys at the same time and be able to get their heads and walk away with 200 peanuts. That's a pretty nice deal. Plus, if they're out of the picture, we totally loot everything in their little hideaway. But
That plan?
that's the criminal in my mind. But I don't know the last. But that's what Tommy's thinking. Right on the borderline. Just enough in that these guys are going to come in and blow up something and cause a scene, but it's them as part of the explosion.
Sounds good to me.
So with that in mind, you have the areas where you have the Zoo Miami Foundation, administration services, classrooms. That's kind of like cuts down almost the center there.
See, the problem with those areas is that they're all human areas and more likely to be noticed immediately by the zookeepers.
I was giving them more as like the line that I'm looking at for the center. But if you're looking in, and actually like even Eve's hideout, the conservation center is kind of along that line. Now you said you're looking for something underground?
Yeah, I think so.
So in the American Flamingo enclosure, which is definitely in Otto's territory, they do have some like caves built into the terrain there.
And the flamingos, do they have a particular allegiance?
They're pedestrians. They kind of stay out of things.
Okay. Well, how willing are we to drag civilians into this? Well,
while Machine Gun Otto is crazy, Tommy is sly, but you notice like he's definitely been willing to do his fair share of the killing, and sometimes people are going to be, their animals are going to be in the hit zone, and he's okay with that.
All right, just going to make sure that this isn't going to turn your stomach at the last minute. That owlish blink.
Yeah, I had no qualms about blowing up a pet store, and was pretty much okay if we had to attack the convenience store, cat and dog. So
that's fair.
Give me do you want to? How do you want to handle the flamingos? Do you want to try intimidating them? Do you want to try bribing them? Do you want to try and do it under their noses without them knowing about it?
Now,
how intelligent or observant are the flamingos?
I mean, they're normal people, so they're kind of like, they're not, I wouldn't say super observant, but they're not oblivious either. They're just going about their day and trying to live their best zoo life possible.
All right, so
okay, you have a thought. Go on.
Yeah, why don't you're intimidating Oliver? So why don't you tell them that it would be in their best interest if, number one, they didn't say a word, and number two, they weren't around tomorrow evening?
All right, so I approach the flamingos.
Okay. And
And
they look curious at you as you kind of show up, and they're just like, they're like hanging out in their yard, kind of like doing a little light gardening and just kind of like unwinding after a hard day of zooing.
fellas, I've come to let you know about something going on. They got a fumigate, so you will need to skedaddle out of here tomorrow night. Dawn till dusk. Or dusk till dawn. Dusk till dawn. That order. I didn't screw that up, I see thee.
So you just want to intimidate them and be like, you're just not going to be.
Like, I'm not being super subtle, but I'm not plausible deniability.
Okay, I am not going to make you roll just because you're kind of scary, and they're basically what I would call civilians or normal people, and and during this whole mob war, the local law enforcement has not been able to contain anything or protect anyone, essentially, and they're just going to try and stay out of the way. I mean, in the beginning, there was less and less civilians involved, but as it's progressed and it's been ratcheted up, it's been getting worse, and they want no parts of that.
Awesome.
So you guys are able to do that. You guys meet back up, go back to your enclosures, and do the normal zoo animal things. And later that night, what is the plan for that night, and how are you going to execute it?
So Eve would like to get Oliver and Tommy's thoughts on what place looks like it could be broken into with brute strength that might be hiding valuables around that area that you found the traps for. And then she's going to explain what she did with the people and how she's basically going to send them a message, putting them in the place that is the trap.
Well, from the information that I've heard, that Machine Gun Otto has moved his storage of valuables, quite a lot of peanuts, over to where the flamingos are.
So Nourish 305 is Otto's speakeasy. He's got one underneath of there. And they just call it the Rock. Favorite rock.
We're about to make it a hard place.
Nice.
That's great. So, okay. Eve will send a message to Allie and Renee that they have to move the favorite rock because the stash is underneath.
Okay.
And she's counting on them being stupid enough to not understand and just kind of go with it.
Well, they are definitely stupid, so that part is not too hard. And they do know where the favorite rock is, because all the criminals know where all the different speakeasies are.
So yeah, she's gonna do that, and then she's gonna tell everybody about the valuables she found and where they are, and she's gonna tell Tommy that he could either steal the booze or blow it up. But everything they have that's valuable is super flammable, so we can steal stuff, or we can stick them where it hurts by destroying their stuff.
So I guess what I heard was Tommy wanted to rig part of the enclosure for the flamingos, the cave area, to blow it up when they went in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then she'll tell them, then she'll send the message for them to go to the flamingo cave enclosure and say that the valuables are under a rock.
So I guess one of the things, so they'll definitely do that. And one of the things that would probably be useful for you guys and why maybe you picked it is, like, if you're the one luring them into the cave, there's a it's an artificial cave, right? The whole thing is artificial. It's not real rocks. But there are vents that go through it. So Eve would be able to fit. You would be able to scurry out the vents, but Allie and Renee are not going to be anywhere near close to fitting.
Okay.
And if it's done right, it'll look like the enclosure collapsed on itself.
Okay. So Eve will send them a message trying to lure them there.
Okay.
And she will ask Cobb, darling, do you think that you could make it so the vent is easily accessible for me when everything happens?
Yeah, is that your escape prep?
It is.
Absolutely, I'll do my best.
And then perhaps Oliver and Tommy could wreak their havoc elsewhere over at their hideout while we're dealing with the two buffoons.
I could wait in the vent for you. That way, if you need any help getting out, I'll be right there. They'll never see me.
You're a gem.
You got it.
I got to be here to do the boom boom. Once that's dealt with, and shall we say we've got Mr. Hambino's new trophies.
Do you have to? How close do you have to be, Tammy?
I'm far enough away to be safe. I got it ready, but still got to be here to be the trigger man.
And then is Oliver your means of escape?
So
Can I lift him?
What I'm picturing here is you've got the caves in the flamingo enclosure, and then what you have is Tommy's got sticks of dynamites inside the cave, and then they basically have fuses that run from those sticks of dynamites to a plunger style system, away from the cave, right? However, he can lay out as much fuse as he needs.
Okay.
And then once he goes in, he just pushes the plunger and ignites the fuses,
right,
and then they'll blow up. And also, as pointing out by TN, if you actually eliminate them, you don't have to worry about them being at their lairs.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
We get them done. We can claim our trophies and 100 peanuts per head, and then we get whatever's in their lair.
Exactly.
No need to destroy it. That's ours.
Yeah.
So, Big Renee and Alligator show up at the flamingo enclosure. All right. So what's the plan, boss?
So, boss, I like that. First off, you don't need to call me boss. By the way, I'm really more of a friend.
All right, perfect. You got it, boss.
See that big rock right there in the back?
Uh-huh.
They've got a stash of peanut rum, and some say even human money, for whatever that's worth, stored underneath there.
All right. So give me a. I'm going to need a start spitting from you and a sly from Tommy.
Start spitting his magnetism. I have an 8 base plus 2. That's exactly 10.
Okay.
Oh, wait, but I have a forward. It's 11. I have a plus forward, so it's 11.
I have a forward that somebody else had given me, and I have a forward from myself. Are those only on the next roll, or are those like the one from somebody else? Is that a choice?
No, it's always on it's the next roll.
Damn it. I was trying not to roll so that I could be able to put that all onto the damage. But, oh well. All right, fine. It's a 15 for my sly.
Okay. So you both pass easily. They don't seem to suspect anything. They don't know what's going on. Eve, kind of goes in, here's the rock here, and then shoots up the vent, which I imagine Cobb is ahead of Eve.
Yeah.
so that you get out first, and then you're able to wave your signal flags. And
Thank
with
you.
that, Tommy pushes the plunger, and you hear from inside the cave, "Wait, where are you going? This rock isn't moving. I don't think." Boom goes the dynamite, and it begins to implode upon itself,
Nice.
crushing the both of them. But it's all piled up around their bodies, so it won't take much excavating to get at their heads.
I will volunteer to do the sawing.
Did he?
Okay.
Did he mean it literally?
He said he wanted. He said he wanted. He
Fair
said
enough.
he wanted them mounted.
Oh.
There are too many T's in that sentence.
Yeah, he specifically called out the wall where he was going to put their
Oh, yeah,
heads.
No, with any luck, they blew right off.
Let's face it, if we can deliver in 24 to 30 hours, the perpetrators who shot up his club, ooh, we can be sitting high.
We're gonna get made for sure.
Just gonna put those heads in a sack.
Yeah, so you do that, and now it's going to take a little bit of time, but also you've also created quite the disturbance, and you're near the border for two different territories. I'm going to need you guys to give me some get out of a jam.
All right.
To get this done quickly and get out of here with your trophies.
10.
Good.
Terrible. Let's see. What is it? What's the stat? Moxie?
Moxie,
Yes, Moxie.
10.
8.
8.
No doubles.
No doubles.
Okay. So we've got 2 successes and 2 successes with consequences. So who saw you guys making off with your trophies? Since the eights will get to the side since you guys rolled them.
So who else rolled an 8?
You and Cobb.
Who sees us making off?
All right, so are we gonna cause some issues with Otto, or are we gonna cause issues with Al Capone, or is it somebody else that could possibly
A witness? Could be Outback Alice. Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. What do you think?
That's kind of where I was going.
What, Outback Alice or a
Yeah.
witness? Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure. I would guess she would be both.
can we get a golf cart to take them?
Take the heads, yes.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, like I'm gonna say, you guys probably would have known to do that before, and so you could definitely see it. And I'm gonna say, Outback Alice saw you grabbing the golf cart and followed you guys without you knowing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And the next morning, after you've delivered, you've delivered the head, you've gotten your 100 peanuts for each head. You've been congratulated by Carlo Hambino. I don't know why I always want to call him Carlos, but Carlo Hambino, and been informed that you have a bright future ahead of you. You see the headline for the Zoo Dally, and it just reads, "Mob war escalates." And there's a picture of the your golf cart driving away with like the back silhouettes of the 4 of you, and the bag with the heads is kind of open, and the faces are sticking out of the bags of the
See,
bag.
the Daily Zoo doesn't follow the morning breakfast doctrine of journalism.
Nope.
So
What is that?
did we get the
They don't show
to-
pictures that gross people out when you're
Oh.
reading.
Did we get to empty out the lair as well?
Yeah, you would have been able to go back there and empty it out.
50 peanuts a piece, plus an incredible stash of alcohol and peanuts and art and weaponry.
Yeah, basically, you each there are 2 Tommy guns there. There's some revolvers. They seem to almost collect bludgeoning and melee weapons, and it's like baseball bats wrapped in barbed wire, or nails protruding through them, crowbar, chain, that kind of stuff.
I don't generally
when you look in these ladies' closets, that's the kind of stuff you find. No ball gowns.
I don't
Alice,
really
that
go
was
for
real
it.
stupid.
What was stupid?
She said Alice.
Oh,
Why? I thought we were friends.
oh, we're not. I mean, we know it was us, but it's not necessarily. I don't know.
Yeah, so like I said, it is more like the silhouettes, the backs.
Yeah.
It is not the faces.
Okay.
But
She might have done us a salad.
But also, there's a good possibility that Alice knows more than she's actually putting in the story.
Yeah.
Because Alice isn't stupid.
Right. Right.
Yeah, let's showcase the people who just murdered 2 animals.
Yeah.
Oh.
A good way to get yourself killed.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, Carlo doesn't want us to confront her.
So let me ask
I
you,
don't know about you guys, but Oliver's like sitting over here, just already ready to decapitate her. Like,
I'm not scared of Outback Alice. She's a nice lady, but she's not mounting any heads on the wall, if you know what I mean.
so I'm not exactly like Otto, but there's something to be said about and he's looking at the Tommy guns. It's like, come on, it's even got my name.
It's meant to be. I think this Mona lizard will look nice in our hideout.
Yeah, there's a couple of these that are, quite fancy.
They'll look either nice in your hideout, or they might garnish some peanuts for you, depending on what you want to do.
Maybe.
Sure.
It's nice to enjoy the finer things, though. Is this an original?
I don't know if it's an original necessarily, but it definitely looks valuable and looks like it could be an original, which I think is the point.
I think if anyone's to know, it's going to be you, Eve.
But with this in tow, we now have 2 bases of operations
Yeah.
that we can utilize.
Well, we have to be careful if we use theirs, because it's quite possible somebody else knows about it. And if we're seen in there, we're going to be more highly suspect of being responsible.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So would you rather us destroy it?
We already pulled the loot out. I say we leave it.
Yeah.
Make sure that there's no feather or fur left behind, or scale, or web. And we go back to our location, and we got to get ready for, we only got a day and a half. We got to eventually get that plan done for the monorail. And
Who wants to clean the site after you guys are done?
imagine I have cleaned up after my own murders several times.
All right.
I can give you a hand if you want.
I would appreciate it.
So anyone that's going to help, you can try and help. But we need to commit a caper to actually do the cleaning.
Oh my God.
I just got triple ones.
I
Can
got-
I show you the? Come on, hold still. Don't do this to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All
bad.
ones. I went bust.
You want?
All
You
right,
think
well,
you think that's crazy? I did too.
Oh my god. We were just not meant to
Oh,
succeed
wow.
in this.
well, I've got a 9 doubles, no
How crazy is that? What are the odds of that?
or no No figureheads.
So, you
What
guys
are
can
the
always
freaking
turn in
odds of that?
markers.
It's like the gamer in me wants to, but the RPers like, yeah,
I know,
it's
right?
so crazy.
I mean, like, how nuts is it? Like, okay, like, this
Yeah.
is one of those catastrophic failures that I just kind of want to let it stand.
let's let it ride, Rab.
Yeah.
Now, part of your problem is you're rolling d6s with numbers as opposed to dots.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where they went wrong?
Yes, absolutely. You got to use pips.
I don't have any dice with pips, Ted.
What the flip?
I'm not that kind of gamer.
Ugh.
You don't have a Yahtzee set? All right.
I don't think I do either, actually.
So you guys are in there and you're scrubbing away.
Hey, we get an XP.
You do.
There's some silver lining.
you do get some XP. You're in there scrubbing away when Ted, you hear a familiar voice from outside this hideout, and it is none other than Machine Gun Otto.
Oh, no.
You louses think you can come in my territory, in my place, think you're going to commit a job under my nose? Boys, get in there and get them.
Oh, I must have failed this.
And you hear the scrabble of clawed paws as otter gangs begin ripping their way into the hideout with you guys coming at you,
Right.
pulling their revolvers. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna shoot the closest one in the face, or try to, if I can.
What's
How
the damage on
many
a Tommy gun?
otters?
Tommy gun is a burst weapon that does 3. You can use it at short or medium range. It is definitely loud, and you can disperse the damage among 3 targets in any configuration up to 3 targets in any configuration you like, in increments of 1.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, so if you were to use a marker to wallop, would you get to split 6 up for like something like a Tommy gun?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's a pretty hefty investment, but still, that's awesome.
I have a question.
What is your question?
Am I there, or I was intending on not necessarily helping because I wanted to go deal with Alice.
I would say you're not there. Then you didn't roll. So you're at the Zoo Dally.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure I know what I should be interacting with.
Okay.
I'm shooting when they come in.
Okay.
It's gang war time.
I think I want to try to like get through, because I mean, like, Otto himself came in, yeah.
He's outside.
Yeah.
He's sending in.
So he didn't come in.
No.
He said, "Get them, boys."
All right. I mean, like, I guess it's gonna be a firefight. Do I have anything I can knock over for cover?
There's a sofa. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I knock
sofa,
over the
there's a
sofa
table.
for cover.
Okay. So, Doug, you spoke up first, so why don't you?
Sure. I didn't want to interrupt. I actually haven't attacked anybody this whole game. It's a bop. Is a bop? Is that what it is? Or no, bring the heat, because I'm shooting them.
Yep, bring the heat if you're shooting.
Sorry. I've only ever assisted people. Okay, that's bring 1, so let's see. What is bring the heat precision? Okay. Oh, I have a minus to that, so 7, and no doubles.
Okay, so a 7, and you do exactly what you intended to. You pull.
You know what? I'm going to spend a marker to give +3 damage. I want to try that.
Okay. So you could either spend it to just make it a success, or you could spend it to do more damage. I will say these are kind of mooks. These are like mooks. so the extra damage on them is kind of wasted, unless
Yeah.
you're using one of the Tommy guns.
No, I just said a pistol.
Okay.
Does that just do one?
Yes, but mooks only take one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, yeah, then I'll do it to make it successful. Then.
Okay. Otherwise, you would have also taken some damage or to use the move against
okay, yeah.
you. So yeah, you just they're like get 'em boys, and the first one through the door is like, "You got it, boss," and you just right in the face.
Awesome.
I also have a 7. and
Okay.
I'm Tommy gun. So since you've declared that they're mooks, I will gladly, do the spray and pray and take out 3 of them.
Okay. Now, if you're using a burst weapon like that, and you were like, "Hey, I want to use a wallop with my mark," then I'd be like, "Okay, you can take out up to 6 of them if you want to spend."
I've already used a marker this session. I'm good.
Okay, you said you got a 7,
but I have a 7, so you got something coming in against me.
All right, so you're gonna take 2. As they return fire, and you take out 3 of them. So four of them are done. So the first 4 to kind of like pour in just got mowed down. Oliver.
You know what? I was thinking about whipping out a gun, but I think I'm coming in talon splashing because
Nice.
it's more barbaric, and I roll higher doing that.
Okay.
And it sends a good message.
13.
Oh yeah, so you just totally how do you do it? How do you want to do it? Like one
I'm just gonna come in and like rip straight up the center of one of them and like put otter organs all over the floor, just the pitter patter of wet viscera.
Oh, man.
So you swoop in, towards the door as the 5th one is coming in, and the way I kind of see it is you kind of like swoop up and just like gut them, and like kind of like land and perch on the the door frame above. But you got a good look, and you saw the stogie being chomped on by Machine Gun Otto as he's pointing in and kind of snarling, and you saw that there were another I'm sucking right now, another 7 mooks heading for the door.
Are all his mooks adders? Or I mean,
these ones are, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Make a hole, get out.
I've already taken down 5. I mean,
they're chumps, but we can't find them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with that, they return fire, and you all take 1.
All right. Okay.
So it sounded like Oliver actually had a plan, so I will let you initiate your plan.
Yeah. That's what
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna like go for the ones in the doorway and try and like squish myself out, because that's where we need to get out. Okay,
so basically you're gonna make I'm gonna call for a wild check, because you're just like trying to use physicality to barrel your way through.
10.
You do it. They were not expecting that, and they kind of like come up short, and don't even get any shots off of you.
Way out.
All right.
I am like trying to make this a fight that will make my ex-girlfriend regret breaking up with me.
Either Tommy or Cobb.
I'm shooting. It's an 11.
All right, so you just blast through 3 more of them.
So if I turn in a marker, I can take out 6.
Yes. So, with that, you hear a lot of cursing, and Machine Gun Otto basically does this is Sparta kick to the back of the remaining otter, and kicks him through the door into you guys, and he is going to beat feet.
Okay.
And let's see.
when I heard, Oliver say, we should GTFO and did Tommy shoot his way out? Did he leave?
Nope.
Then? Oh. Can I just sort of, since I was here before, sort of spying it there too, I just want to like Homer Simpson it and stand in the gaps and just like, maybe there was some like wherever I was looking in through the ceiling, just like whoop, disappear. It's like, hey, you said get out, I'm out, or try to.
Yeah,
anyway.
you can do that.
Okay. Oh, not bad. Okay, that's sly, so 8.
Okay.
Which would be just mostly unnoticed with the complications.
Okay. So at this point, there's only one mook left. He's kind of been abandoned. Otto actually made a run for the river above and dove into the water. But you definitely have earned his anonymity.
Wow, that's the second person who's enmity ever in this campaign. Of course, the other one's dead, so no biggie.
So you can either, whatever you want to do, you want to chase off the last one, you want to take them out. It's completely up to you guys.
Pew pew.
Yeah, clean up the trash.
It's another 10.
Dang, Tommy is ruthless.
Oh, sorry. Looking at the wrong dice. That was a 13.
Oh my god. You just got elevated to our heavy status.
I got a Tommy gun now. I mean, it's just in the name. What can I say?
Well, let's see. Hold on. Let's get rid of this crap in chat.
Yeah, I was doing the same. Thank you.
It's the wrath of our snarky commenter, right? Maybe. Who knows?
The bots have come.
That's what we made it, man. They care.
So so you guys well, the cleanup got a little bit more difficult at this point. I don't know how you want to do it. Maybe just shove all the bodies in there and close it up.
We robbed it. We could go with the original plan, just torch this place.
I'm good with leaving the bodies here and closing the door.
That's fine too.
Just make sure that Oliver didn't leave any feathers behind, and if there's fur, there's fur. I mean, there's plenty of dead otters here. What's
a little more otter fur?
What's a little more otter fur?
You're just being utterly ridiculous.
I mean, if they get the forensic team in here, they might be able to distinguish between the two.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite up to that.
But we are on the border of Otto's territory and Owl Capone's, and she has a lot of owls under her command, so if they do find my talon marks, I'm not entirely sure I'm the person that you hear hoofbeats, you don't assume I guess we're in the zoo, never mind.
Yeah. So, actually this hideout is actually kind of more in Carlo's backyard, so but you guys have kind of cleared out this little bit of nest. So back at the Zoo Dally, again you find you find Alice with her fedora, hanging up on the rack next to her desk, just banging away on her typewriter.
Okay. I'll come in and be like, Alice, darling.
So give me a let's put your peepers to work.
Okay. I'm not great with that. Oh, maybe I am. Okay. That's a 9.
Okay. You can definitely detect that she is a bit apprehensive at your presence.
Okay. I'll just kind of approach and be like, so, I've had an exciting night. What about you?
Just the normal beat, just tracking down stories and doing my job.
Yes, I noticed you posted an article recently that was on Rush even. Didn't even wait until the next morning.
Well, you know, you got to get ahead of these things. I don't want one of these other rags to beat us to it.
Oh, of course,
Amateurs.
Of course. That was very hard hitting too. Excellent.
Yeah. So you're not here to quiet me, are you, or something?
Darling, I was here to congratulate you.
I thought maybe you wouldn't be so happy about that story. I mean, I didn't put your face in it, but...
You didn't. And I appreciate that. And, you know, I understand you have to get your scoop. That's very important.
When is all the violence going to end? Like, is there going to be an end to this war, or is this blood in the zoo going to just keep flowing forever? Something's got to be done. The coppers, they're useless. The flatfoots aren't able to do anything, and you know, all of y'all seem, you know, hell bent on murdering you know, each other, and you know, now it's getting worse, and just regular zoo animals are getting caught up. We're just trying to live our lives. She reaches for some eucalyptus leaves and starts kind of like eating nervously and shoving them in her cute koala face, and her big eyes are kind of looking at you, scared, but also like you see there's a little bit of resolution in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Listen, how many other people are around, by the way? Because I don't want to like have a like sensitive conversation in the middle of like a busy paper.
So the newsroom is kind of busy and noisy, and there's cubicles, right? But they're not like modern day cubicles. They're like actually like wood. So like it kind of dampens the noise in, but like outside it's kind of ruckusy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Dave doing that period research.
Sounds like a very thought-provoking conversation, but maybe we should have this conversation not in the middle of the newsroom.
So you want to take me someplace quieter, less busy, just kind of looking around.
How about we go for drinks?
Yeah. Where are you thinking? Where do you want to go?
We could go to the Sty. I was there recently. I know they had their whole escapade, which we can absolutely talk about. Or if you know a bar, you pick one.
So she picks one that is actually neutral. It's not actually owned by any of the crime bosses.
Okay.
And it is I need a name for a bar now. I didn't make up the name for the everyday person bar.
Green lemur.
Oh, love it. Green lemur.
There you go.
A color and an animal. That's where the adjective animal.
Yes. The Green Lemur is where us journalists like to go hang out, and you know they're one of the only place that serves eucalyptus wine.
Ooh, I've never had that. Have you ever had a snake bite? The drink.
I didn't think we were on those terms personally, but
oh, no, I don't. And then she kind of opens her mouth and points, like, no fangs.
Oh yeah, that's good. No, I've had a human bite before.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Is it also made with beer and apple cider?
Sure, if that's what a snake bite is.
It is. I mean, a rose by any other name, right? But sure, let's go get drinks.
Okay.
I don't know, a cocktail at IRL now.
And she grabs her hat and puts it on, and her fedora, and kind of like waddles after you, and still looks very, very nervous.
Okay, we'll go to the bar safely, you know, as long as the monkeys aren't causing mischief or whatever.
Actually, everything seems more quiet than it's been in a while. almost like it's too quiet.
This is odd.
But also, there's been quite a ruckus lately, so.
So somebody blew up 5 sticks of dynamite.
While we're on the way to the bar, then we can
There's
have.
gangland murders.
Yeah.
As far as the violence goes, to be honest, I don't know when it ends. And I feel like you've been sort of roped into this, no pun intended, much in the same way that I originally was.
Aren't you like worried that the humans are going to finally figure it out? Like, they're really dumb, but I mean, there's got to be a limit.
There does. You're right. That's partly why my friends and I have been trying to align ourselves with someone who's not so loose cannon as Machine Gun Otto and not so vicious as Al Capone.
She looks around when you say their names like she's expecting them to be like right there behind her or something.
Alice, we come from very different worlds, but I promise you, for my part, I want things to be stable. See, the zoo is never going to be crime-free. That's not how it works. And you have to sometimes work to make the lesser of two evils the best option, so that the fewest number of people get hurt. After all, if you remember, my friends and I bailed you out with Al Capone.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. But I'm also not entirely sure you didn't put me in that mess to begin with.
I didn't intend to. I intended to distract you, to be honest. But
well, it definitely worked. I was very distracted as I was sitting in Al Capone's basement waiting, actually, I should say in the basement of Monkey Business, waiting for Al Capone to come collect me and maybe murder me.
But she didn't. And we got you, right? Here's the thing, darling. You have to be careful with this. You're a journalist. You have tremendous power. But you also have a huge target on your back. If you don't do things slyly, you are going to get hurt. And I'm not saying by me. This isn't a threat. I just want you to be careful. I meant it when I said we were friends.
Well, I appreciate that. Just feeling a little jumpy lately with everything that's going on.
That's fair, and seeing me on that cart probably didn't help anything.
No, especially, I mean, it's lucky none of the flamingos were hurt.
Well,
they're the best dancers we have in the whole entire zoo.
We worked to get them out of the way because, like I said, you go with the lesser of the evils, and you don't want people to get hurt. At least I don't.
Yeah, well, I tried to get a comment from them. They refused to answer anything. They seemed a little scared.
I won't lie to you and say that some of my friends don't have misgivings about hurting others. In fact, it was suggested or implied that maybe kidnapping you was the better option and then doing what Al Capone didn't. But I didn't want to because you're my friend and because that's not right, you know?
Yeah, I do, but apparently in your line of work, that doesn't seem to be much of a boundary. I'm not saying you personally. It's just, what I've observed.
Fair, but that's why those of us that have a moral compass have to look out for one another, right?
Well, yeah, and she definitely seems skeptical. That she believes it, but she's not so sure you believe it.
Oh, don't give me that look. I know I'm a snake, but still.
Well, it's less about you being a snake and more about the trail of bodies and stolen goods and fear and murder, but I might have said that one already.
Well, let me assure you this much. I've never killed anyone.
Well, that's good to know.
I don't intend to either.
But I mean, a lot of dead people do seem to show up where you go.
I know. And I'm not saying that doesn't make me complicit to some degree. And I may joke about killing people sometimes, but I won't ever if I don't have to.
Well, that's good to know. So, do I have a target on my back now?
Honestly, unless you find a way to make yourself ingratiated with certain people, probably.
I mean, I got integrity, you know. I got a job to do, and I know it can be dangerous, and it may be the thing that does me in, but the people need to know. I've got a responsibility.
Yes, I know. I know what that's like. But we have to keep you safe too. Could do a ruse.
A ruse? What kind of ruse?
You know, we could make you disappear for a time, quote unquote, and then convince the boss that we are working with that perhaps we've intimidated you into being more prudent in your reporting.
You know, there's a part of me that appeals to, but at the end of the day, the news is my life. And if I don't have that, I don't have anything.
That's fair. And I can understand that. But you have to be careful and safe.
I'm working on it. And she pats a bulge in her jacket that you didn't notice before. And the koala appears to be packing.
Good. Here. And Eve will give her the blackjack and leather sap, whatever it is that it says here. It's like a leather beating thing, I think.
Yeah, blackjack. Yeah, it's to knock someone out.
Yeah, she'll give her that in case you need something a little closer.
Thank you. She's like flexes it a little bit, and so blackjack is basically a piece of steel wrapped in leather. For anyone that doesn't know, and it's kind of flexible, so it has a little bit of snap to it.
So just be careful. If you don't want to do the ruse, we don't have to. But I do have a place where you could hide and be a little bit comfortable.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Can I do the news from there? She looks at you kind of slyly.
If you want to do it remotely, but you won't be able to send your articles from there. You'll have to go somewhere and deliver them and then go back.
That might work. Let me think about it. Give me a day.
Okay.
And I can make you famous.
I would like to be famous. God knows I have a singing voice that the world is missing out on thanks to that accursed Josephine.
Yeah, Miss Barker. She doesn't like to share the limelight, I hear.
I've noticed. But
well, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and finish up for the day, but I will definitely keep this in mind.
All right. No drinks then?
I assumed you guys were drinking.
Oh, okay.
It was like over drinks. Well,
right.
Thanks. You did tell her your name, right? You did give your real name.
Oh yeah. She knows her name. So just be careful, Alice. Let me know what you think, and if you need a safe haven, I can help you out.
Thanks, Eve. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And as she turns to like to kind of like trundle out of the bar because Koala's kind of like waddle, but then sharply turns back and gives you a quick hug and squeeze, and then heads out.
I will give her a very gentle, not actually constricting squeeze.
Yeah, and that is where we're gonna leave with you like watching the door close as Alice exits. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks everyone for playing. We'll be back. We will be back here next week doing the same thing. We have a newsletter you can sign up for if you want more information about Zoo Mafia. And when we release the quick start rules, that's the first place they're going to go. Out to the people that belong to that newsletter. We're not going to bother you with anything else. There's also design diaries over on the channel as well that you can check out, and there's a playlist link as well for that. So with that, until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Nerdy.